My Lego Royal Knights, they were looking a bit rubbish. So I decided it was time for a complete upgrade, and the inspiration came from somewhere totally unexpected, a real life royal palace. Today I'm showing you how I took these guys to them into an army fit for a king. This is how I upgraded every single royal knight in my Lego kingdom. Look, I've always been proud of my Lego castle display. The walls are massive, the towers are tarry, but the old minifigures, they just suck compared to modern ones. They're the same knights I had forever, all looking identical and honestly a bit goofy with those fixed smiles. They don't look like they could defend anything, they look like they would struggle to find the bathroom. A great kingdom needs a great army, and mine was just not great at all. I knew I had to do something drastic. I didn't want to just buy more of the same old figures. I wanted to create something unique and royal, something with a bit of flair, and the answer turns out wasn't a Lego store, it was in a palace. Right, let's have a proper look at the before picture. This was my royal army, a dozen or so identical lion knights, all rocking the same printed torso from about 30 years ago. We've got the standard black helmets, plain blue legs, all with the same cursed smile. There's no order, no way to tell who's in charge. The captain of the guard looks exactly the same as the guy peeling potatoes in the kitchen. They just have no character. When you stick them all together, they don't look like a squadron, they look like someone's gone mad with a copy-paste tool. It's a familiar pain for everyone, right? You have some really nice modern figures and then you just put your old minifigures next to them, they just look so outdated. And my king, bless his tiny plastic heart, looked less like a powerful monarch and more like a friendly granddad. His crown was dull, his robes were plain, and he was surrounded by a sea of identical smiling faces. This wasn't a royal court, this was a copy and paste tool. It was time for a revolution, a design revolution. Every revolution needs a spark. So, for that spark, I ended up on a completely unexpected trip to London, and specifically to Kensington Palace. I went to see an expedition called Dress Codes. My thinking was, if I want to design royal knights, why not learn from actual royals? And honestly, it was incredible. This wasn't just a bunch of fancy old clothes, it was all about how clothing projects power, status and identity. I saw a lot of royal robes, but when I saw that some of the clothes that the royal children wore, that's when it clicked. The idea of a shared look, a family or group style, that's what an army needs, a unified theme but with little variations for rank and role. Back in the studio, surrounded by glorious bins of Lego parts, I started with the backbone of the army, the Royal Guards. These are the soldiers on the castle walls, the main company of the king. I wanted them to look disciplined and unified. For the torsos I picked two classic but slightly different castle prints. They have similar lion crests but tiny variations, suggesting different regiments in the same army. Instantly the clone army was broken. For the legs I got some modern ones. I went with those gorgeous detailed legs from the new Lion Knights castle. They've got a red kilt and gold trim. This one part immediately makes the figures look so much more regal and expensive. For the helmet I kept the standard black helmet. The main weapon is a classic black spear. By the end of each one I've added a black lightsaber hilt. It's a tiny detail, but it gives the classic weapon a totally unique look, and honestly, makes it look loads better. I mean, just look at this first squad, the difference is already night and day. If this is giving you ideas for your own Lego armies, maybe consider subscribing, because we've still got the king himself to go. A king can't look just like another soldier, can he? He needs to be the absolute centerpiece. To give that unified family look, I used the same fancy legs as the guards, but from the waist up he had to be grander. I found a really ornate Lion Knight's torso, but I swapped the arms out for plain white ones. The unified look with the white legs and arms just make him pop. He's got a classic looking king face with a big flowing white beard that screams I'm in charge. And for his crown, I tracked down one of the old school shiny gold ones and I topped it with a fancy red plume. Of course, a king needs his own personal bodyguards, so we can make some elite royal guards by using the other variation of the royal knight torso. And here it is, the entire army, all done. From that sad little group of clones to a multi-layered, organised and totally unique royal army, the transformation is just, well, look at it. Every single figure tells its own little story now. You can see the different roles, the ranks, the thought that went into them. They're not just plastic toys anymore, they're the embodiment of a kingdom. They finally look like they belong in a magnificent castle they're supposed to be protecting. So there you have it, from a handful of sad old figures to a full-blown royal army. This project was so much more than just swapping some parts around. It was a deep dive into history, design and storytelling. And it just goes to show you that inspiration can pop up anywhere, even in a 500-year-old collection of royal clothes. Taking a moment to think about the story behind your Lego can completely transform it. This army isn't just a bunch of minifigures anymore, it's the heart of my Lego kingdom. Thank you so much for joining me on this huge upgrade project. I had an absolute blast with this one, but I have to ask, which of the new figures is your favourite?